Hi, I'm Ingrid Barclay and I'm here today just to share some thoughts with you on post-competition blues. I am myself no stranger to sabotaging behaviours, I guess, and I've had a lot of experience with competitors, having been a comp prep coach for over a decade now. So I thought that I would share particularly my hot tip today, but also just a couple of other useful strategies, because I think it's getting out there now that post-competition syndrome, as it's starting to be called, is a real problem with the fitness and figure world. It's not good enough, I suppose, to just acknowledge it and plan for it, because as you know, the best of plans go really AWOL, and when you're caught in the midst of post-competition blues, it's an incredibly challenging and I would argue really debilitating syndrome. So, you know, what can you do it? You know, the dysphoria of post-competition syndrome is characterized by things like anxiety, stress, sleeplessness, emotional and mental discomfort, malaise, also sleep disturbance, and probably the big one is maybe ostracizing yourself from those that you love and love you. So it's also, by the way, known in academic terms as body fat overshoot. Now, look, you know, the severity of this can go from, you know, intermittent binging to mild disordered eating patterns, right through to binges that actually lead to sessions in hospital and stomach pumps. So, you know, it's a very real thing and phenomena, and it's occurring more and more because we're getting so many more competitors. I think, you know, lots of posts on the moment at Facebook are saying do this and do that, and I think, well, you know, for X person doing this might be good, but for another person it really wouldn't work. So I think you've got to deal with how to best deal with it on a one-on-one situation. You know, do you continue to train? Do you not continue to train? Look, I think actually that there are some really valid reasons for continuing to train, and I'll share this and you'll see how this is actually really synergistic with my number one tip today. Look, you know, in a way, although we know that the calories in, calories out thing just doesn't quite work with the human body, continuing to cardio, if you've done a really good comp prep and you haven't cardioed your butt off training, you know, 7 days a week on an empty stomach and twice a day and all of that crap, if you haven't done that, maybe upping your cardio is a good idea to try to combat for some of the binging if it's not extraneous. It could be helpful. Another idea would be to create a fixed binging pattern. Now, you know, I know that doesn't sound great, but perhaps setting aside a period of time to eat an indulgent food, and it could be a free-for-all on fat-free yogurt or freshly popped unbuttered popcorn, and you binge, but at least the caloric intake is not quite so damaging as, you know, 10 blocks of chocolate and I don't know, what do you get at McDonald's? I don't know, a McFeast, you know, where you're looking at, you know, 5,000 or 6,000 calories in a hit. So I guess it's kind of managing the binge, if you like. My personal number one hot tip for this would be to be aware of your triggers and to take really proactive steps to engage in positive social situations post-competition. What do I mean? Well, look, I've been there, as I said, and done that with sabotaging behaviours. You know, I've had a disordered relationship to food over my years, which I've largely combated. And one of the things that I've done and people do when you have that disordered relationship is I don't think there's too many figure and fitness girls out there that will binge in front of people. No, 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 no. It's a behind closed doors. It's a do it in your bedroom or in your kitchen or in your home with nobody else around. Driving even. Possibly with your partner, but chances are it's a solo situation. So what I'm suggesting is, instead of, I used to call it caving. And when I used to cave, you know, it'd be like a free-for-all sometimes with food. Instead of allowing yourself to ostracize yourself and to do the whole social withdrawal thing, what say that in your plan for post-comp, you actually structure cafe dates and dinners and family catch-ups and write them in your diary. And I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's easy to put yourself out there and be around people when in, excuse me, when in the back of your head, you're actually going, God, I really want to go home and eat that jar of peanut butter and that block of chocolate. I know that that's really hard. And you know what? Sometimes you've got to sit there with your family and friends with that going on in your head, and you've got to ride that wave. And chances are that the wave might actually pass. It might crash, and you'll get home and you actually don't want to go to your bedroom and self-sabotage. Now, I really like this idea of preempting the social withdrawal, because also, of course, what do a lot of competitors do post-comp? They stop training. Now, this might happen because, or they lessen their training. And this might happen simply because they went out after the show and they had a free-for-all, then they got up the next day and they continued to eat, and you've only had 2 or 3 days of eating, but of course, you know, the 4 kilos of water, the glycogen, da-da-da-da-da, all of a sudden you're feeling fat. Now, that's your perception. You're not fat, and everyone else is still thinking that you look incredibly tidy, but you're feeling awful. So what do? You don't want to go to the gym. Herein starts a very, very vicious cycle. You don't want to go to the gym, you stop the cardio, you stop the weight training, and you're getting socially reclusive. So by actually getting out there, possibly increasing cardio, possibly I'm saying, making sure that you stay in the gym and for God forbid, get your coach to give you a really refreshed training program. You do need some invigoration and a new adaptive stressor in the gym, and get those dates and those coffee dates because what else happened during your prep? You became all about you, really selfish. So your friends are sitting here thinking you're a little selfish, and then this actually means you get the chance to make up with your friends, because it's in the diary. It's a thing you've got to do. So I want you and I encourage you to engage in positive social situations. That would be my best tip, guys. Now, if you like this video and you want to hear more, make sure you go to the Body Conquest YouTube channel, check out our website, check out our blogs, because I'm writing all the time. I'd love to hear your feedback, and click on like, pass a comment, and I'll keep these coming if you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot. Bye.